Indiana that day. Okay, let's look at the official at the top. Where are we going? He's almost moving at the snap. And I would tell you, if let's just say you were being evaluated for the NFL, that'd be completely wrong. They just hate that. But is he moving with a purpose? What's the purpose? What's to gain by getting out in front of that play like he did? There is nothing. Yes.
Now, yesterday I got a note saying yesterday on free kicks that be patient, allow the play to move down the field. Is that?
Yes.
Would you say that's kind of an all-the-time thing then, not just let it go a little bit?
So Dick has taught this for, like I said, as long as I can remember. When Dick Honig used to run our Monday meetings in a pizza place in Ann Arbor, okay, or downstairs in Banfield, whatever, these tiny little places we used to have football meetings. Dick would say, you want to trail the play by 5 to 7 yards, okay? I don't know that that's a mandate, but I would tell you that will generally get you that snapshot that you want that puts everything in that. So yes, especially on running plays, there's no reason to shuffle with them, right? Now, if the ball's going right up the middle and you want to slide with them a little bit, I'm okay, I get that. But if it comes to you at all, be stationary until it starts to head upfield a little bit. And yes, Marcus's point on that kickoff was perfect. There's no reason to run up there. In the old days, we'd run up there and try and get that cross-field look. But if you also remember, and you got to go way back, you also see line of scrimmage guys used to jump over players to mark forward progress spots, right? We don't do that anymore, right? So the game's evolving. We're having to stay back, okay? Yes, question.
Stationary. Does anything with just backing up?
Backing straight up?
Straight back, yeah.
So, and that's part of the NFL thing that where they talk about they hold the line of scrimmage and you back straight up, okay? So right now, what's behind you? Well, no, I'm just saying, do you know, right as you're sitting right here in this room, do you know what's exactly behind you? Exactly, you don't. And if there's a player's box or coach's box back there, they're all moving around. We don't know where they're at. I hate that, okay? One, I hate going this direction while I'm officiating. That might be a pet peeve, okay? But two, I don't like people behind me. You back into the chain crew, okay? They're just doing their job. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan. Yes, question.
My question about adds to that. So last year I went to these camps, one in El Paso and Utah, and that's what they told me was a backup. And I felt the same way you do. I don't know what's behind me. I'd rather go into the backfield and back straight up.
Yeah.
So I don't know, is that a COC thing they're trying to?
Well, no, because I would tell you this. We have two position coaches. Both of them are fantastic. Both have worked the Super Bowl. Mark Hittner is my position coach, okay? And he worked 3 Super Bowls, and he's worked more NFL playoff games than anybody in history, okay? I think he's at the top of the list. 30 playoff games or whatever he's had. And Mark would tell you to back up. Well, I just kind of back up a little bit. Gary Arthur was line judge who also got run over, okay? And it is now, he couldn't work anymore because he got run over, and it was on a punt. It was a different setup. But he will tell you, take that step into the backfield on that sweep for that very reason. Okay? So all that makes sense? So there's some flexibility, and if you feel like you can just back right up, the hardest one is line judges with the quarterback rolling straight at you, and now he has to throw it. I feel for you. Okay? I'm an H. I can go where the heck I want. Okay? So that one is really difficult, and that's the one where you probably should try and hold that line. But I'm going to tell you, if I feel like he's coming at me right here, I'm at least doing that to give myself one single step. Anything I can get. Because there's defenders coming from the other direction, and they're going to blow him up. And if they blow him up, you know who's going with him? Me. Okay? Yes?
So holding the line back and up and going into the defensive, if it's going to the mechanics Steve was talking about, the line to gain, does that change? Meaning, if you normally would go into the backfield and you're on the line to gain, because it sounds like they want us there to rule on that, but if you got all those guys coming in, to your point about, well, we're just trying to stay alive over there. We're not even officiating the line of game then.
Correct.
So what
So
would you-
here's, in the old days, if I had to go to the goal line, the umpire would come up and take the line of scrimmage, okay? I would tell you that the backside line of scrimmage official can hold and look across, but understand his distance is really compromised at the point it's 53 yards away, and did the quarterback release it before, behind, or beyond the line, right? So they'll come up with some more criteria to help us with that, but you're thinking it, okay? And that's exactly how you're going to get better. Is we just talked about scenarios, and you got to think through those, and you've got to know what you're going to do before they occur. If you wait and now, oh my God, that's the first time I've ever thought about the quarterback coming straight at me, right? You're not going to be able to perform well. But if you've got it, I see this, I do this, then you'll just react. Does that make sense?
And Bruce, on this play specifically, just mechanically for the wing at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
So you're saying that wing at the top, stay where you're at. This play's about 8 yards downfield. Let's say it is 3rd and 8. So that's an important line that we need to pull up. At the top, stay there. Should the bottom, because it's away, move down and help that well?
And they're going to have to tell us, because you're not going 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. You're not going to the line of game. It's only on those 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4s. They're going to set some criteria. In fact, we had a Big Ten line of scrimmage official who was in the MAC at the time, who's now in the NFL, went downfield on a 3rd and 9 and completely bombed the play because she was trying to get to the line to gain, and Steve Shaw on the training tape the next year kind of blasted her for doing it. So yeah, we're not going on 3rd and 9s. If we go anywhere, it's going to be those 4th and shorts generally. Okay, so just yeah, be aware. We're not covering that stupid line when we cover it every time from here, right? It doesn't mean we have to run to there to cover that line. Good question. And as they develop more of this, they'll help us with it. All right.
Can we just talk 1 second about this? The umpire went up with a dead ball sitting.
Yeah.
How does that affect us?
Nothing.
Just play on.
It doesn't mean a thing. Okay.
Okay, so this doesn't stop the play.
That play was umpire induced. He's the one that probably ruled. But I didn't show you the whole play, but the line scrimmage guy agreed with him. Okay? They came in and kind of put him down. And I'm like, I tell my replay guys, if I come in and I'm going like this, stop the game and flip it, because I'm wrong. All right? I am trying to convince myself that runner was down when I know full well he was not. Okay? It's me trying to sell it. And you can come in and you can pat the ground on an incomplete pass. You know, you can do all that. But if replay says it's not true, what good is that signal? Nothing. It's the same as this. That means nothing. Stop it. Okay? But anyway, so yes, I would not, the umpire induced that one. Okay? So when in doubt, blame it on somebody else. And we'll just look at one more here. Similar type stuff. All of these are the same type of play. Here we go. See my signal? I'm going to put him down. I'm sure he's down. Well, guess what? Let's go see what replay says. And then I'm going to pause in here for a second so you can see what Steve Shaw was talking about yesterday. How's my guy doing, huh? That might be a warning. What do you think?
Peace.
That he does. He's got half the battle won. He just ain't wearing them right. Here's what I would tell you is anything when you're talking about warnings for your tackles and your warnings for equipment and that kind of stuff, when they huddle on the sideline between series, go to my tackle and say, hey, make sure you're staying up on the line for me. You know, the coach will hear you chatting with him. You know, of course, you've already talked to the coach about it. But, hey, stay up for me. Sometimes they'll turn and look, and they'll give you the thumbs up. Am I good? Am I good? As soon as they start that, you've won the battle, right? Same thing. They come out, and he's like that, and I see him. Now, generally, he's not like that until he gets out on the field, and he goes like this, right? But if I see him like, dude, cover your knees. We're on TV today, okay? Yeah.
Is he going to start with the SEC? Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I have no comment on that. When they were talking about formations, and I asked him kind of, but I didn't want to, hold him to the fire in front of everybody. What does he see when he sees COC officials? Are we taking care of business? Okay, so here's the all 30. Then we're going to look at the official at the bottom. What's that? He was moving the whole time. Okay, so I think I've made my point on that. I've got one other, and I'll just show you this because I get this question a lot. And this is, just going to scroll right to this. And I don't show all negative plays. All of those came from replay overturn. We have all of our fouls get put into a category. The easiest way to look at bad mechanics is go look at replay overturn. That's where they're at. And generally it's because it's self-induced. We did it. Okay? I didn't show you any of my plays. Okay, so here's a punt where the ball is touched by somebody and blah, blah, blah. But this is what I want you to look at. Get this question almost at every clinic. How far do I move on punts? Right? Did he do this yesterday?
No.
He did kickoffs, I know. So how far do I move on punts? So we're going to start on a line of scrimmage. I think he'll end up taking a half step back. But anyway, he's partway back into the white. Pretty good position. We got to make sure that the ball crosses the line of scrimmage before we go anywhere, right? So it's kicked and it crosses. And then you're going to go at a reasonable pace while the ball's in the air. As soon as the ball's about to be caught or caught, and now we've got reverse mechanics at that point, we're going to again get stationary when all this is coming together. We're not looking at the ball to see it caught, but we know what's going on down here, okay? And then at that point we go into reverse mechanics. So let's watch one of these Eastern Ohio guys.
So is it a jog? Is it a walk? Is it?
Let's watch. What is that? You call that a jog?
Soft jog.
A soft jog. Ah, there's a term I like.
I like it.
Hey, so here's what I'm going to tell you. And I think this is good. I think he's fine there. I just was able to pull one punt there just to kind of illustrate that and have this discussion. So think about this. And they're at the line of scrimmage and they're about to punt. And the receiving team has 10 players at the line of scrimmage and they're coming. And you can feel it when they're coming, right? You know that they're going to try and block this kick or do something. Guess what? Everybody's now here. Okay? Conversely, they come up to the line and they're really soft. And you know that they're going to set up a return. Okay? So now there's more players here, downfield, than there are up at the kicker and at the line of scrimmage. So we need to be able to officiate the pressure play. Here's all the pressure. Now it's the other play where they're setting up for the return. Now I've got all these players to my right. I need to be further down the field that way. If the more pressure they put on, the less of a hurry I am to get down there for this return, because there's likely not going to be a return. It's going to be fair caught. Okay? So just kind of read that play as it's setting up so that you can understand how far and how fast I'm probably going to have to go. Okay? Does everybody get that? And that kind of answers the question. It's never a walk. Okay? Don't walk. It's sometimes It's not a shuffle either. I would tell you turn and go, but go at the appropriate pace so that you can keep that 25-yard cushion, 20-yard cushion between you and your deep wing. Okay, so then when we come back up the field in reverse mechanics, we look like we would look on a pass play. We look like we would look on a running play. We're kind of doing this together. Is it perfect? No, it's not. There's no prescribed go to 15 yards, stop there, blah, 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 whatever. You have to be able to use your skills.
Bruce,
Okay.
would you use pregame to see how far the kickers are kicking to adjust that?
Some. Our back judges definitely will know that stuff. We'll then generally look at it on, we get all these stats. I'm telling you, we get all kinds of stuff. And they will tell you what the punt average is. And they'll tell you what the net punt is. So we kind of get an idea of, you know, how far are they kicking it? How much are they giving up in the return? Do I process all that? No, I'm not an engineer. I'm not that smart. But it does factor in, yeah. The wind, turf versus grass. Okay, turf bounces further and crazier. Okay, good grass field, that thing might settle down like a pitching wedge, you know. But so yeah, it's part of the art of officiating, not the science. Any questions? Distance, angles, timing.
Bruce, with that part, 7 and in, what are you doing to get to the goal line, to the pylon? Are you running to the pylon to step back, going back at that angle?
I'm not going on an angle because, again, I'm not an engineer. I'm not very smart.
Okay.
I'm a straight line guy.
Okay.
I'm going 12 yards off the ball. Now at the snap, or before the snap, I'm setting my receivers. I'm doing my thing. I'm coming as deep as I can probably come, depending on who's where and what's going on, right?
Yep.
I'm not always at 12, but in a perfect world, especially when it's snapped on my hash,
Yep.
space is compressed, right? So then I'm going, and again, you can read the formation, right? If it's a single receiver over here, what are they going to throw? Yeah, exactly. If it's a trips, now you got to think about, you know, crossing routes and all that stuff. But if the ball's snapped on the far hash, you've got the wide side. You probably got more time and space to get to where you need to go. Now, as far as moving to the goal line, there's only one real play that can get you from the 7. It's a single receiver slant, okay? Because that can happen